Recording the
Hare
flag.
Krishna.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
I'm gonna sound, we're gonna say the prayers. I'm gonna mute everybody for this.
That was not fun at all.
Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, let's see. So, the story of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingh Dev is there in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, remember, Srimad Bhagavatam is divided into 12 cantos and 18 books. We are talking about the seventh canto, which is described as the science of God. And the story of Narsimha Dev and Prahlad Maharaj comes in this canto. There is a lot of pretext to it that starts off, but the the discussion starts off from this scene which is there in which is happening in the during the Rajsuya Yagya. So during Mahabharat, there is a yagya that is happening, a special sacrifice when when Yudhishthir Maharaj is performing this particular sacrifice, and Lord Krishna was given the seat of most prominence, and he was being worshipped. Now, the demons are people cannot, who are envious of Krishna, right? So, this particular person was really very envious of Krishna. His name was Shishupal, right? So, this Shishupal was very envious of Krishna, and when he was born, he was a relative of Krishna, and at the time of his birth, it was already predicted that he is going to die by the hands of the one in which, so he had extra limbs, and it was said that when he goes to touches somebody who will be the cause of his death, then those extra limbs will go away. And when he came to and he was touched by Krishna, those limbs went away. So his mother knew that he's going to be killed eventually by Krishna. So being a relative of Krishna, she asked a boon for her son that um, Krishna, please forgive his mistakes. I know that yeah, it's said that you are going to be the reason for his death. So, being my relative, please give me this satisfaction and give me a boon
Oh,
that you will not kill my son until. So, Krishna says, I can't change destiny. This is destined, but what I can do is I will forgive 100 mistakes for him. So he said, "I'll." So anytime if he does 100 mistakes, then I can't stop myself. So Shishupal, what he used to do is he used to count, keep counting. He used to do a lot of mistakes or cause a lot of mischief until it's not 100, and then he would stop. But the problem is, if you get into bad habits, then it is difficult to stop bad habits. So he got into this bad habit of blaspheming Krishna, blaspheming, saying bad things about Krishna, and he became very envious of Krishna. So eventually, when he was in this particular place, then he saw that Krishna is being worshipped, and he was so envious that he could not tolerate that. He could not tolerate that Krishna is being worshipped by all these kings and all these great personalities. There were wonderful personalities in that particular assembly, with Bhishma Dev being there and so many other great personalities, kings, and even demigods being there. So he was so envious that he's like, why is this Krishna being worshipped? And he's starting saying bad things about Krishna. And eventually he got into this bad, because he had this bad habit, he could not stop himself from continuing. And he eventually did 100. When he did 100, then Krishna said, okay, so now you have crossed the line. And he kills him with his Sudarshan Chakra. And that's what you see in this picture. But then a very wonderful thing happens, that this light or life, his spirit soul from the body of Shishupal goes and enters into Krishna's body. Now that is amazing. So it means the soul of Shishupal actually got liberated because it went back to Krishna. So it attained liberation. Now Yudhishthir Maharaj was looking at this scene. And he said, how is this possible? This Shishupal did so many wrong things, said so many wrong things against the Lord. How is it possible that he is getting liberated? I do not understand this. Right? So that was the question that started it all, the discussion. Then it was described as, why did this happen? So he asked, it was described then that the backstory of all the things which are about to come started at that point, which is this picture that is being shown now, right? So what is happening in this picture? There is these little kids are coming to the door of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is the place where Lord lives. So Vaikuntha is, Kuntha means disease, means to be in pain or disease or difficulty, right? Or problems. That is the meaning of Kuntha. Vai means without. So this world is considered as a place of problems and disturbances and um, difficulties. Vaikuntha is a place that is beyond this world, where there are no difficulties, where there are no there is no sadness, there is no problems. Everybody is happy. Everyone is Sat Chit Anand, which means these three words are used to describe the Lord, and as well as parts and parcels of the Lord, which are the living entities. So it means full of bliss, full of eternity, and truth. So these are the qualities of the soul. So when these little kids, naked kids, four kids, they reached over there were the guards of Vaikuntha. They said their names were Jai and Vijay. And they said that we are not going to let you in this condition. You can't enter into the kingdom of God like this. So they offended these children. But these were actually not children. These were these were the four Kumaras. These were the sons of Brahma, Lord Brahma. And they had a lot of mystic powers, and they could decide that they are not going to age. So these were very advanced spiritual beings. And these Jay and Vijay had now basically offended them. So they said, well, uh, you don't deserve to be the guards of Vaikuntha because you are just looking at the bodily features, um, you are not allowing us in. So that is not a good quality. That just based upon just how somebody looks, we should not judge people.
Why are they
Said we should
naked?
not judge a book by its cover, right?
Why are
So similarly, we should not judge people by just the way that they are looking. So, they
why are they naked?
well, they did not want to. They did not care anything about the material world. So they didn't want anything material, including clothes. So they said, well, we don't want anything material. So they were like, they didn't care about it. Some great sannyasis or some people who are beyond this world or really transcendental, they sometimes don't care about how they look or how or what is happening around them. They are just in complete thinking about the Lord all the time. So they don't care how what people think of them and anything. That's not how we should behave. That's not we should not copy how others, how transcendental people or these great saints behave, because we are not at that level. So we should not just copy them without being at that level. Okay. So, but they could do it. They were okay to do it. So they said to these to Jay and Vijay that they cursed them and said, you have two options. One option is that you take birth. Now you'll have to take birth in the material world, and you will have to take birth 7 times as devotees of the Lord. So you can take birth 7 times. Or the other option is that you take birth only 3 times, but the condition is it will be as enemies of the Lord. Okay. So now Jay and Vijay, they are in Vaikuntha. They are the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. So they are very dear to the Lord, and they are devotees of the Lord. So they didn't want to live in separation of the Lord. So they didn't want to be separated for 7 lifetimes from their loving Lord. So they said, okay, we will take the offer of the 3 lifetimes. And then Lord comes, and there's a beautiful description of how the this beautiful smell of tulsi is coming when Lord comes. Lord understands there's some commotion happening, so he comes himself. And when the Kumaras, they even just smell the flower, the smell of the tulsi that's at that the feet of the Lord, they get completely mesmerized and completely taken up by the beauty of the Lord, and they get to see the Lord. So they get completely taken up by the beauty of the Lord. Before that, they were actually um, they did not believe in the form of the Lord. They didn't used to pray to the form of the Lord. They were Mayavadis in a way. But then when they saw the Lord, and then they smelled the beautiful fragrance from the feet coming from the feet of the Lord of Tulsi, they were actually completely turned into followers of the Lord. And
which
then
one's
they realized that they had done an offense by giving this curse to devotees of the Lord. So we should not. Another lesson is that we should be very careful not to offend the devotees of the Lord. Anybody actually, but especially not the devotees of the Lord.
which one is Jay and Vijay?
What is the question?
Which one's Jay and Vijay?
Well, we are not told that specifically. We are just told one is Jay and one is Vijay. Okay.
No, like which one of them? Like, is it the little
No, these one, the
people?
four-armed forms.
Uh,
So in Vaikuntha, so there are different places in the Vaikuntha where different people have different forms. So
then why are they like Vishnu?
so because they have the form of the Vishnu, that's one kind of liberation that you can get. You can get Sarupya Mukti, it's called as. It's a kind of liberation where everybody in the this particular planet, everyone has four hands, and they look like Vishnu. It's called as Sarupya Mukti. Okay. So there are also even Vishnu Dutas. We learn in different stories when they also have the same kind of form, four-handed form, like Lord Vishnu. So they decided to take this offer of the three, taking the three birds as enemies of the Lord, and then they take up those and they come in their first birth. They come as Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu. In their second birth, they come as Ravan and Kumkarna. And the third birth, they come as Shishupal and Dantavakra. So that's why from the story of Shishupal, this story is being talked about, because Shishupal is now being described that he's actually a devotee of the Lord, and this is their third birth, and they are going to go back to Godhead. He's a liberated soul. Also, we learn that anyone who is killed by the Lord, by Krishna, actually gets liberated. So all the demons who were killed by Krishna, everybody who was killed in the presence of Krishna in Mahabharat, they were all liberated. Okay, because they were killed in the presence of the Lord. Okay, so that is the backstory of Jay and Vijay and these forms. And now let's talk about this particular form, which was Hiranyaksh. So Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu is the first birth for these Jay and Vijay in the Satyuga. And they were destined to be enemies of the Lord, and they were very powerful demons. They were born of um, their mother was Diti. So for the mother of all the demons is Diti, and mother of the demigods is Aditi. Okay? Those are the name of the mothers of the gods and the demons. Mother of gods is Aditi, and
Aditi.
mother of the demons is Diti.
Diti.
So these were sons of Diti. They came by the coming together of Agastya Muni and Diti, and there is a special time for when kids are supposed to be born, and um, so in they perform their practices for getting a child during the night time, and Agastya Muni had told them that not to Rishi Kashyap, sorry, Kashyap Muni, Kashyap Muni, not Agastya, Kashyap Muni. So Kashyap Muni told Diti that this is not a favorable time to get a child, but Diti wanted a child, so eventually they got these horrific children, which were demons, who were Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyaksh, what he did was so both these brothers, they created a lot of havoc for the all the demigods. And then what Hiranyaksh did, he actually
So
took Mother
lucky.
Earth
That's your
and
fault.
took the Mother Earth, and he put the Mother Earth in the waters of inundation. So submerged the earth under great there are great waters of inundation, which so were there under the
Lucky. Is
Garbhodakshai
that
ocean.
real or is that false?
So that's difficult to understand because we only have a very limited knowledge about the universe. So that's why we feel that only Earth has the biggest oceans, but actually the whole Earth can be submerged in some oceans, the Garbhodak Ocean. So that's what happened over here, and it was in a lot of problem, and that's why the Lord came in this particular form, the Varahadev form, and he took the earth out from the waters and fought with Hiranyaksh and actually killed him. This made his brother very mad. That is Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu now decided that okay, so this Vishnu has come in this form of Varahadev and killed my brother. I am going to get power equal or more than even Vishnu, and thus he decided to do austerities. Okay, so he did a lot of austerities, special yogic postures and stuff. For thousands and thousands, for 10,000 years, he did austerities. He stood up on one leg and he prayed to Lord Brahma, and his meditation was so deep that it caused a lot of problems in the whole universe. There is so much heat coming out when you are so doing austerities for so long that even the gods have to listen to had to listen to his request of what he was saying. So this all heat is the heat of austerity and meditation, and around him, as you see, these anthills have developed because 10,000 years he is standing in one position on the tip of his toe, right? He's not moving at all. He didn't eat anything. He didn't sleep. He didn't breathe even. So he was turned almost like into a skeleton. We can't, it's difficult to assume, even think of all that because our lives are very small, short in this Kali Yuga. The lives are only maximum of 100 years. But in Satyuga, lives used to be thousands and thousands of years. And we know for 10,000 years, he did austerity. And then Lord Brahma had to come, and Lord Brahma, just like demigods, they have to fulfill the request. If you do certain things, they have to fulfill your request. It's like a barter system. It's like a trade. You give me money, I'll give you this. So like that.
How
So he got special boons from Lord Brahma. First off, he asked for being immortal. Immortal means that nobody should be able to kill me. So that's what he asked for. That nobody should be able to kill him. He should become immortal. He should never die. And Lord Brahma said, I can't give you that boon because I myself am not immortal. So even Lord Brahma is not immortal. Okay. Radhika, you have a question?
yes, so uh how did he die if how did he die if he is doing the tapasya for like 1,000 years?
Now, he did not die because he was, because he was doing such severe austerity. There he could hold his life air inside his body still, and he had very long lifespan. People of that age had very long lifespans of thousands and thousands of years. So he did tapasya for so many years and still didn't die. And then he asked Lord Brahma that he should never be able to die. And Lord Brahma said, I can't give you that because even I'm not immortal. So Lord Brahma's lifespan is also given in our scriptures, that, but it is very, very long. It's for, so many yugas, 1,000 yugas, 4 cycles of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas. That is just 12 hours of Lord Brahma. So this is like Kali Yuga is going on. Double the size of Kali Yuga is Dwapar Yuga. Double the size of that is Treta Yuga, and more than that, double that is Satyug. So this is the
Wait, what?
is going about Satyug, right? And that is one cycle of 4 yugas, of this 4 yugas, right? Which are thousands and thousands of years each yuga. And then thousands of such cycles is only 12 hours of Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma has a very, very, very billions and billions, trillions of years of life, years of our life is Lord lifespan of Lord Brahma. But
Brahma is only 51 years old.
per his lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so I got like a question.
Well, actually, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take questions at the end. Otherwise, we won't be able to finish the story.
Okay.
Okay, and then your Kahoot is based upon this. So if you're not able to get to the end, then you will not be able to know the answers.
I already know all the answers.
Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Okay, okay. So Hiranyakashipu got the special boon. I think most of you know what the boons were, what he asked
Yeah.
for.
Can
That
I
I
say
can't die during the day or night. I can't die inside or outside. I can't
No
die
weapons.
without any. No weapons can kill me. Not no nothing.
No land, air, or water.
No one made by you, by Lord Brahma, should be able to kill me. So he didn't
Not
want to be
on
killed by
land,
animals,
water,
man,
or air.
any kind of demigods, not
Not
on
on
earth,
land,
not on
water,
water,
or air.
not in day, not in night. So, like this, he asked for a lot of boons, trying to make sure that he cannot be killed. But Lord Brahma had to give him reluctantly the boons. But of course, we will see that how even though he tried to cheat death did not get cheated. Okay. Then what happened was during this time when Hiranyakashipu had gone to do austerities, at that time the demigods, they knew that these Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, they were very strong and were causing a lot of problems. So now they knew that Hiranyakashipu's son is going to be born. And he said, Indra said, we should kill him in the womb itself of the mother, because we don't want another strong demon to come into this world. Only these two themselves have caused so many problems that we don't want any more demons to come into the world. So this is the best time. He is not even born. Let's just kill him right now before he is even born, son of Hiranyakashipu. So this is the picture is showing Kayadu, who is the mother of Prahlad Maharaj, and the demigods have got hold of her and are trying to kill her, and have decided that we are going to kill her under the um, suggestion of Indra. But then Lord Narad Muni comes and says, hold on, this is not right. Narad Muni is a great devotee, and devotees can't see anything wrong happening. So they said, this is wrong. You should not be um, harming the wife of even your enemy, and then you should not definitely kill a child in the womb. So, and you should stop because this is actually going to be a great devotee. So this is Lord's plan, that this is actually going to be a great devotee, so you don't need to worry. And then she said, Kayadu requested Narad Muni that Narad Muni, these people are trying to kill me, these demigods. So you can, so what I want is a boon from you, that I don't want this child to be even born before my husband comes back. Okay. So Narad Muni said, okay, I can give you that boon, that your kid would not be born before Hiranyakashipu comes back. But the trade-off is that you have to come with me and listen to Hari Katha during that time. Okay. So she goes to Narad Muni's ashram with Narad Muni, and there Narad Muni is reciting Hari Katha, or Lord's names, and about telling all about the Lord to Kayadu. And Kayadu actually used to sleep at times during the discussion, right? Narad Muni is telling for years and years, he's telling about the Lord. And Narad Muni doesn't get tired talking about the Lord. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. But Kayadu, she gets tired and she sleeps at times. But the pure devotees of the Lord are always happy to learn about the Lord, about the stories, about the pastimes, about the form of the Lord, about what the doings of the Lord are, what are the pastimes of the Lord. So, this little Prahlad, who was in the womb of his mother, is listening to all the Harikatha, by whose he's taken Narad Muni as his guru. And he is listening to all these wonderful stories about Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. So, like this, finally Hiranyakashipu comes back, and once he comes back, then Prahlad is born. Prahlad is going to a school now. He gets bigger. He is going to the school. He's 5 years old now. Okay, and he's going to the school of the demons because he's born in a demoniac family. And the teachers in that school are the sons of the teachers of um, all the asuras, who is Shukracharya is the spiritual master for the demons, and Shukracharya's sons named Shanda and Amarka. Those are the two who are teaching in this Gurukul, or the school for the demons. And Prahlad Maharaj is also going there. So after about 5, 6 years of age, once Hiranyakashipu very lovingly calls Prahlad and says that, dear Prahlad, dear son, why don't you come and sit in my lap and tell me, what are you learning in your school? Don't your parents sometimes tell you that, oh, okay, tell me what did you they teach you in school today? What are they teaching in your school? So that's like what Hiranyakashipu did. He asked Prahlad that come and tell me what you learned at school. And Prahlad Maharaj, he thought he is being asked that what did your teachers teach you? He asked, what did your teachers teach you? And Prahlad Maharaj, for him, this Chanda Amarka are very secondary teachers. His real teacher is Narad Muni. So he starts telling Hiranyakashipu about the Supreme Lord. And he actually tells, the first thing he tells Hiranyakashipu is that you should leave all you're in this dark well. You're like in this dark well of family life, and you are completely materialistic. You should leave all this. You should go to the forest and ask for forgiveness and shelter from from the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Now, Hiranyakashipu is what? Like this little kid, he's my biggest enemy, Vishnu, and this little kid is saying that I should go and take surrender to my biggest enemy. So he is very, very angry that what happened? But he's not angry at Prahlad. He's angry at the school and the teachers. And he calls the teachers that, you are teaching me, my kid, something wrong. Or how did my son get all these wrong things in their head? So So he thinks that, maybe in the school, some Vishnu Bhaktas have come and they are teaching wrong things to Prahlad. And this is a trickery of the Lord of how he is making my son into a devotee. So he doesn't say anything bad to Prahlad and just tells the school that you need to now teach him the right things. He has learned all these wrong things from this from somewhere. You need to correct him and teach him the right things from his standpoint, right? But then Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in the teachings of Shanda and Amarka, right? He has heard the teachings of the Supreme of Narad Muni, the greatest devotee, and he's heard about Hari Katha. So this is Hiranyakashipu chastising Shanda and Amarka. And what have you taught my son? He's so intelligent, but you have telling him all these wrong tales, wrong things. So figure out what's going on and fix them. But then what happens is now Prahlad Maharaj goes back and he actually starts telling about the Lord to all his friends. So even rather than just having one devotee, now he's making many, many devotees. All his friends he's talking about that you should pray to Lord Hari. You should not. Hiranyakashipu is just a material person. You should not pray to him because Hiranyakashipu was very, very strong, and he had made it a point that anybody who prays to Lord Vishnu will be severely punished. So nobody was there was daring to pray to the Lord. And all these demons, definitely all they had heard was their god is Hiranyakashipu. So they were told that your god is Hiranyakashipu. But now for the first time, there is this revolution happening. Prahlad Maharaj is bringing this revolution that no, Hiranyakashipu is not God. God is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord. Okay. And then they decide to, okay. And Hiranyakashipu is actually very learned in the sense that he knows about a lot of things from the scriptures, but he's not able to follow them because he's envious of the Lord. So, another lesson is just having knowledge is not enough. We need to be able to follow the knowledge. Just like knowing what is right is not enough, but we should be able to behave also in that way. So you may all know that it is not good or not right, not good to write bad things in the chat, to discuss very nicely things, be very respectful to devotees. But unless you act like that, unless you are being nice, unless you are being respectful, unless we are maintaining decor in a class, right? You all know that those things should be done. But if we are not doing those, it means there is not much difference between us and Hiranyakashipu, because we are also the same. We also know what is right, but we are not able to follow. And what is the reason of not being able to follow? It is that we have learned bad habits. So now these demons had learned from their childhood only bad things, that Hiranyakashipu is God. There is no other supreme lord. You need to, kill other people. You need to harm others. You need to um, make other people feel bad. That is what they had learned throughout their lives in their schools, that they were being taught this, that the only way to feel powerful is if you make other person look bad. If you say bad things to somebody, that is how you can be a powerful person. If you make other people look really make them cry, then you are a strong person. So those kind of things were being taught to them. They were being taught that how to you know kill other kings, how a strong person is only if he can subdue the one who is weak. But Prahlad Maharaj said, no, no, no. A strong person is one who takes care of the weak, right? And these material things don't matter. How much land you have, how much money you have, how one looks. All those are not important. Our only business is that we should, and those were the discussion we were talking about yesterday. There were 30 verses in seventh canto, sixth chapter, which we discussed yesterday, and they talk about Prahlad Maharaj teaching his other kids who are close to five years in the school, basically 5, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. But he's teaching everyone that you should start learning about Lord from as early as 5 years of age. That's the famous shloka, Kaumara Acharet Pragyo. So you should start learning about the Lord very, very early in life, because that is the time when your uh, learning power is maximum. Once you grow old, then you can't learn new things very well. You have already been tainted by this material world. You already have so much knowledge, the wrong knowledge already. So in this regard, it's said there's a famous story that comes, that once somebody wanted to learn, let's say, a guitar, right? And he went and said to a teacher that I know some guitar, I know how to play a little bit, I know like 50%. How much are you going to charge me for the lessons? He said, okay, I'll teach you guitar. It will be, let's say, it's going to be $500. Okay, that's fine. We'll do it. While he's still there, he hasn't left, another person comes and says that I want to learn guitar, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't know how to play guitar. I said, okay, no problem. I'll teach you. I said, how much are you going to charge? He says, two for you, $100. So this person says, why? I already know how to play guitar 50%. And you're saying you charge me much more than what you're going to charge this person who doesn't know even how to play. And he says, well, if you know just 50% means you haven't learned completely, and you may have learned some wrong things. You have been practicing, you're saying, by yourself, and may have learned wrong things. So first, now you have to make you forget all the wrong things and then start. So I have to work more with you. So similarly, when we are much older and we have learned all the wrong things and wrong habits, then it is much difficult to learn the right things, right? So we should start early on in life about learning about God. So that is what he was teaching his friends, that we should start early. He talks about how much life we are wasting. Half our life, he says, we are sleeping. We waste in sleep. Then 20 years, when we are debilitated, when we are very old, we have diseases, problems, we can't really learn at that time. The first 20 years we spend in this material knowledge and all this. So we are wasting, we don't have much time to learn. So we should learn, and learn very carefully about the Lord from as early as possible. And then Hiranyakashipu gets to know about it. He tries to kill Prahlad in many, many ways. Tries to put him in a pit of snakes, tries to throw him off a mountain,
Krishna.
tries to hit him tries to burn him down. But any and every way that he tries, Prahlad Maharaj is he's not scared at all. He's just sitting there and chanting the names of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Devine.
So like that, he's just chanting about the Supreme Lord names, and that's all he does, and he's saved from all these problems. And finally, now Hiranyakashipu gets mad because he's not able to kill this little boy, and he says, "Where does all this strength come to you? Because you are this little kid, and I have done austerities." He felt cheated that he did austerities for thousands and thousands of years, and and still he could not become immortal. This little kid of 5 years is now almost immortal. Nobody can kill him. So, this is cheating. He said, I've tried so much. I spent so many years standing on one leg and not breathing and not eating. And this kid is doing nothing. He's just 5 years old and he cannot be killed. So this is cheating. So Hiranyakashipu felt cheated and said, "Where is your strength coming from?" And Prahlad Maharaj said that it's coming from the same place where your strength is coming, which is from the Supreme Lord. And then Hiranyakashipu gets mad and says, "Where is this Lord that you keep talking about?" And Prahlad says, "He's everywhere, in every living entity. He's present in." Prabhuji, yes, how many pages are there in this story? We are done almost, and then we're going to go to Kahoot. Okay. So, okay. So he says that my strength comes where your strength or everyone's strength comes from, which is from the Supreme Lord. And then Hiranyakashipu says, "So where is your Lord?" He says, "Is everywhere." He says, "Okay, is he also in this pillar that is in front of me?" And little Prahlad says, "Yes, he's in this pillar also." And then Hiranyakashipu says, "Okay, let me break this pillar. And if you are saying the truth, then your Lord will let me see where if your Lord is there or not." And then this ferocious form, he hits the pillar with his club, and this ferocious form of Narsimha Dev comes from the pillar. So it's described that he roared before coming, and his roar was so loud and so ferocious that even the planets of the demigods, everybody got scared from the roar. The elephants all over the planet, they almost had a heart attack. That what is going on? There's such a ferocious roar, and he was so big that his mane is the of the tiger. His upper half of the body was like a lion, and the mane of the lion is the hair on his face. They were reaching the clouds in the sky. He was that big and huge, and he came in this beautiful half man and half lion form. And then he came out and he was playing with Hiranyakashipu like a cat plays with a mouse. Hiranyakashipu was very, very strong, remember. He had all the demigods, he had beaten Indra and all the demigods. And now this ferocious form has come and he is just toying with him, playing with him. And then you see how huge he is in front of this even Hiranyakashipu who has all these boons. And then he waited and waited till the evening time, the dusk time, and then he killed the Hiranyakashipu, keeping in mind all the boons that Lord Brahma had given him. So he killed him with his nails, not with any weapon. He killed him on his lap, so not in air, not in water, not on the ground. He killed him not inside or outside of the house.
In
He
the
got him
courtyard.
in the courtyard. He killed him. Um, uh, he made sure that it's not a form that is created by Lord Brahma that is killing him. This was a form that had never appeared before. This half man, half lion form. So all the boons that were given to Hiranyakashipu, despite all the boons, Lord Narsimha Dev,
It's
keeping the
not
word
there.
of Lord Brahma, Lord and Prahlad Maharaj, as well as the Kumaras, as well as Narad Muni, all those people had told him that the Lord is here. Right? Narad Muni had told Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had told Hiranyakashipu. So that's the beautiful verse that talks about Satyam Vidatum Nijbhret Bhashyatam Vyaptim So that's the beautiful verse that describes about that I kept the word of all my devotees and I've come out from this pillar to keep the word of my devotees. He came out from that pillar that Prahlad Maharaj had said, my Lord is in this pillar. So, so that's how we learn that Lord always keeps his words and the words of his devotees. Okay, this is actually a very, very wonderful story that is loved by a lot of people in our tradition. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna and Radharani, uh, combined incarnation, he used to read this and loved this canto, seventh canto, and so much so that all his Bhagavatam was filled with tears and was not even readable. Okay, so I'll stop over here and we'll take questions and then we will go to Kahoot.
Yay!
How
could he not breathe?
Narsimha Mahadev ki jai.
Jay.
How about you?
Jay.
How could he not breathe? Why didn't he breathe? Why isn't he dead? Because he didn't breathe.
Yeah, so there are so they so that's why, because we can't even imagine if such austerity is possible, right? You may know people who may be able to stop their breath for, we may be able to stop it for 1 minute. Somebody which are some mistakes can stop it for multiple minutes at a time. But that's in Kali Yuga, when our life is only a maximum of 100, years maximum, right? The people in this world have very small life, and thus they can only do certain things. The people we are talking about, they had lives of thousands, 10,000 years or more. So there was their lifetimes, right? So much more number of times they were able to long for that much longer they were able to do austerities, hold their breath, and do all these wonderful things that we can't even imagine now.
Okay, I think I've